we're working on an episode for the Olympics that'll come out during the Olympics.
Okay.
And we're focusing on curling. The sport.
Big wheel of cheese.
I'm obsessed with curling. I think curling is just the most fast. From a physics perspective, the ice is amazing. There are all kinds of applications of the way that the curling stone spins that might, in an interesting way, help us solve physics problems.
You guys criticize me.
No, I promise.
Eugene.
You're talking about a granite wheel of cheese.
Eugene, let's be clear. I've never criticized you. I've only mocked you. There's a difference.
Where in the UX can I put this correction? You want some?
Yeah.
So yes, you're fascinated by curling. And you said how it might help us solve?
So there's a physics mystery in curling, which is, oh man, I gotta explain this now. So
this is your life.
No. This is the thing that nobody would understand.
No,
wait,
throw
hold
it.
on. I'll explain this one second.
Okay,
I need a prop.
You need a sip? Yes.
Okay. No, she needs a prop. She's gonna.
Oh, a prop. So okay.
Okay.
You're the life.
That
of
would
the
be
party.
really fun if we were.
Yeah. If we were at a party now, you'd be like, all right.
Okay. So the mystery in curling is usually if I have this and I spin it. I don't know if you saw that, but I was spinning it in this direction.
Yeah.
And it moved that way.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So it counter-steered.
Yes. In curling, that's not what happens. I can't demonstrate it with this right now, but if you're with a curling stone, which has a very specific bottom, and you spin it on the ice, if you watch Olympic curling, it will spin this direction, right? That's the same as what I spin, and it will move this way. And that has been confusing physicists for 100 years.
Why is the other one normally happening? Is it centrifugal force? What is happening?
Something
What's causing that?
So the reason why that happens. So I spun that way, it moved that way. I think I did it a little bit. Let's see if I can do it going straight. Really trying to make it work. Yeah. So it moved that way. I spun it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why that happens is something to do with friction on the front, and it I don't totally understand why it happens, but it basically happens with everything.
Got it.
So if you the physics of this spin and the friction of forward motion means that it should move that way. But on ice with a curling stone, it goes the opposite direction than you would expect.
Because there's no friction?
So we don't totally understand why. So this has been confusing physicists. There are a lot of genuine research papers written about this. This has been confusing physicists for 100 years. And there's a lot of very reasonable reasons. If you ask why, and you look at the papers, there are a bunch of reasons that they give. There's one theory that has to do with the friction on the front of a curling stone is different than if it's on this because the ice is melting slightly as the friction moves across. So there's something to change about the friction.
Is it that the water and the ice are doing two opposite things, and then there's a layer
theories
between them, or
I couldn't repeat to you what the theories are.
You just tricked me into being interested in curling.
I know.
Look at me.
So this
now
is my
I'm going to
point.
be watching the Olympics, watching curling, trying to figure out why the stone spins the way it does.
This is exactly my point.
And what material is the stone? Granite?
A really special granite. It comes from one island. Every single Olympic curling stone comes from the same island.
What island?
It's called...
You can just say any island and we'll throw in a correction. We should just do that for fun. Just to show people how it works.
So it's a specific island
Scotland.
with
It's called... I'm not going to remember this. I'm not going to imagine.
Just say an island. Just say an island. The island of Stone.
Alisa Craig, thank you so much.
the sober guy at the party.
I'm a facts man.
But see, every single stone comes from that one island. Okay, here's my point.
And every single boring person comes from that island too. Thanks for the facts guy. We were having so much fun here, guessing.
They were going to make me make up an island, so thank you.
Oh, man.
Here's my point with this.
The island of Bashar, and then we would have put the correction. See?
soon.
It would have been perfect. Sorry, Eugene. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
My point is that curling is a sport where if you read the YouTube comments in most videos about curling, or if you look at the way that people cover curling, especially on television during the Olympics, they make a lot of fun of it. Mm-hmm. They talk a lot about how did this become an Olympic sport? Why are we it's sort of a joke. It becomes a joke. First, I think curling is amazing, and I think the curling athletes are amazing. So I think that shouldn't be the case in the first place.
You call them athletes?
Yeah. Oh, I tried curling at the curling Olympic trials. I tried it. It's insanely hard.
Wait,
It's
what makes
so
it hard? What's hard about it? Knowing that your friends might see you doing it?
No, the balance
Oh,
of
so
doing
good.
it.
I mean,
and like,
you know we sat at this wheel, man. You know we sat at this wheel, man. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Man, you know.
I'm so jealous of that line.
Come on, Eugene. You know we sat at this wheel, baby.
I've never heard you use that voice before.
Don't be out here acting like you don't know we shot a curling wheel.
This is my point, you guys, which is
Cleo are trying to trick us into acting like curling is not funny. Some people think it's funny. We are those people. You don't have to go far.
No.
There are some people who think it's we are those people. You have found us.
I am going to make the case for this. I am such a big curling fan. I am going to make this case. My point.
Okay, sorry.
My point is that it is lame to be the cynic who looks at curling and thinks, oh, it's funny, it's not
Wow.
interesting. Not
Wow.
that you guys, but
Damn.
it's lame.
Shots
it is much
fired.
It is much more interesting. And it makes your life better to be the person that goes, why does it work that way?
Got you.
Why is that? Turns out there's a crazy physics mystery and a stone island and a relationship to how we're going to discover aliens, by the way, because we don't need to understand physics of curling, but it relates to the way in which we're going to explore islands it relates to the way that we're going to explore planets with ice and oceans underneath. So we need there's a whole physics of the way that ice rubs against other things, and you need to understand that if you're going to drill into It's just, my point is that there's an endless amount of interesting things to know when you don't stop at, oh, that looks a little funny.
Yeah.
Or it's
You
boring.
know what's funny? You
It's
just
hidden
made me,
clues
you
of the
just,
universe.
but you also just made me realize that comedy does the exact opposite of what you're saying, but it's all about assumption. You know what I mean?
I would
So, like,
actually
one of
say
the-
that your
so-
comedy makes me think more about the everyday things.
You're
that I
very
don't-
kind, but I think like when I think of like most, if you think of some of the crazier jokes that we'll tell as comedians, fundamentally what we're doing is the seed is the same. It's all born in curiosity and being inquisitive. However, the conclusion is necessary. Like the assumption of the conclusion is necessary. Otherwise, it isn't. One of the first ones where I knew this was Jerry Seinfeld. One of his most famous jokes was about the expiration dates on milk. And he was like, how do they know? How do they know when you milk the cow? It's like, they've got the date. And it's like, and he had this really amazing bits about like, he's like, are they milking the cow? And then the farmer leans in and then the cow's like, yo, January 7th or what? You know what I mean?
That's
very funny bit. I never laughed at it, never found it funny because I knew before I saw the joke how they have the expiry date and it's just a number of days after it comes out of the cow. And so I learned in that moment that a lot of comedy relies on you not knowing.
The facts, yeah.
Being curious, but don't pull out a phone. Don't do the research. Don't just be like, how do they? And then you've got to go on your own journey and figure it out. And God forbid you figure out the truth. It's just like,
The joke is finished.
yeah, the joke just like, it like.
Such a CIA thing to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of what you've been doing with your comedy is like, you do explain. Like you land an explainer after a funny journey.
If it's a real story, I mean, you and I are similar in that way. If it's like a real thing, I'm not going to try and make it not a, but there are moments where you go,
Yeah.
what is like one of my favorite jokes of myself, every comedian has their own favorites, is one of mine was like the origins of the Ku Klux Klan. And I was like, where did they get the name? The KKK, right? Because then I looked into it, then it's like, the joke was something about like how the origins were, they got it from the Greek Brotherhood. It was Ku Klux Alphion was the original name, right? Ku Klux Alphion, Ku Klux Klan is how they got the name, Ku Klux Klan, right? But then I was like, it's not Ku Klux Klan. It's not supposed to be KKK. It was supposed to be like
KKA.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like KKC, and then it was supposed to be a whole thing. And then I like played with it, and I took you down the origins of it. But it was crazy stuff. And then I ended up on KFC, and I was like, that's the original. That's supposed to be the name of the KKK is the KFC. But then they were like, we can't do that. Then I was like, because black people would love them. And then
Who told you they couldn't do it?
I thought you were going to say who told them black people love them. Yo, you were so close. You were so close.
That's why I'm not a comic.